Hello and welcome to another Carlicus Outdoors adventure. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take some time and show you how we put this blind here together. We found out, we put a little video together and we sped it up and it was kind of comical, just to play around with the video editing and to just have a memory thing. But turns out we got a bunch of hits on the site where people were actually looking, and we're figuring they were probably thinking, hey, how do you build those blinds, when they saw the picture. So we thought that we might take some time today and show you how we do that.
Yeah, and actually when we thought about putting blinds out here, that's what I did. I looked and did some searches and tried to find some ideas that I could use to build these blinds. So maybe something we do or say that might be helpful. I mean, by no means are we experienced carpenters, and I'm sure there's a lot of improvements that can be made to them, but they seemed like they held up the first year real well, and they were watertight, and we learned a few things. So we're going to just explain a little bit how we did things. But if you have any questions or you want more detail about these blinds, you can email us at
CarlicusOutdoors@gmail.com. That's an address we have set up just for our YouTube page, so that if any questions, if you're unsure of what we said about the thickness of the board or the length or anything like that, you can drop us a line and we'll get that information to you.
So anyway, to try to explain a little bit about this, I guess our first thought in this was, one, we were going to make these blinds mobile in the sense that if we didn't like where we put them, we would be able to take them down pretty easily and move them to a new location. The other thing we thought of is, obviously we can't get a truck to where we're hunting, but we were able to get a quad with a trailer in here, so we had to make it, build it in pieces to be able to bring it in that way. So what we did is we built them in the shop and brought them out here in pieces. We put them together and made sure everything fit, and then like I said, we assembled them out here in the woods. And one of our first things was, well, how big do we build it? So as we started thinking about it and then considering the costs involved, we decided to make it roughly a 4x4, so that way we can use a 4x8 sheet of plywood all the way around, so we didn't have to put pieces in and buy extra plywood. So in doing that, what we did is we created the base using womanized lumber, and we made it a frame, and then we put a cross member in for support, and we used the 3/4 inch piece of plywood for the floor, and then we used womanized, now the plywood was 3/4 inch to give it more support, obviously. Now this is 1/2 inch plywood on the walls, but the legs on that are just 4x4s, womanized 4x4s. We made ours 6 inches just to keep them off the ground a little. Obviously, depending on where you're located, you can make them bigger, or if you're on a hillside, cut them different lengths to level it out. So once we got that together, then we started on the rest of the blind. So now that we finished talking about the base a little bit, I just want to mention a couple things on the side. Keep in mind, two sides are going to have to be cut a little bit smaller than the other two, because what you want to do is you want them to overlap. So again, you got to trim down 2 of the sides, and as you can see, this corner overlaps with this one. The other thing we did is, in order to save some money, we bought the 2x4s. We ripped them down in half, and that's what we basically made the frames for the sides out of, and the roof. They're sturdy when you screw them together, and really we didn't need the 2x4. It was kind of overkill, and plus, like I said, it saved us money. So we got 2 pieces out of each 2x4. So what we did again is we built each side, and as John's coming around here, we'll show you inside a little bit, and you'll get a kind of better idea of what it looks like. I'll step over on the side here. So as you can see, we just built around the sides a frame for each side, and the front's taller than the back, and on the sides they're angled for the pitch of the roof, and we put these cross members here for the windows and to give us some stability. And basically, as we built each side that way, we just set them right down on top of the base, and from the back here you'll be able to see that we had when we built the side, we had the plywood come down past the frame, so that it overlapped on the base, and then we were able to screw that together. So what we did is, when we had each side built and we brought it out here, as you can see from the video, we set it down on top, and we basically just put a few screws down on each base, screwed into each base, so that again, the idea was to make them mobile, even though I don't think we're going to move them, but if we did, we would only have to remove a few screws, disassemble it, and move it to a new location. But you can build it permanent however you want. And the only thing different really was the back here. As you can see, you have to account for the door. So basically we built the back and then cut out for the door, framed around it, and obviously there's different ways to do it. We use 1-bys to frame the door to make it sturdy. Again, it's no set way, just you know, whatever works for you, or whatever pieces of wood you have laying around. Obviously, it's not cheap to buy all this lumber and put it together. So now just to touch a little on the roof, as you can see, we have it sloped. We just picked the angle, nothing specific. We just used rolled shingle to cover it with, and what we did is we just made sure that the roof had an overhang. And when we build it down shop, as John comes around here, we'll be able to show you inside a little bit that that as we built the frame around there, we put cross members to make it solid. But what we did is we made it so that it would slip down inside on top of the wood for the sides, so that so it sat down in there, and then we were able to put screws up in to attach it. So as you can see from the video, it made it nice when we just carried it over and just basically put it up and slid it down on, and it sealed it real well for the weather. So it again, it worked out nice. We did cut. I mean, obviously you can cut the windows for whatever size you want. We made them a little bigger for our liking, but also noticed when I was searching out there that some guys had them real small, so that deer wouldn't see movement, which is a good idea. So what we did is, another thing is we made brackets out of metal and pieces of the plywood, so that we can slide down in. As you probably noticed, when we were finished, we slid them down in. That was just to keep the weather out. So when we come in, we just slide them out, or you could take them out and leave them out for the season, and then put them back in when the off season. That way, like I said, it keeps the snow, keeps the rain out. For down here, all this is pipe insulation. We just cut it on one side and slid it down over top. We stapled ours. Some of the staples were pulling through a little bit, so it's an option whether you want to leave them on. You can take them out at the end of the season. Really, we just put that on there for the gun, to set it on here that wouldn't make a lot of noise. Build a small shelf. I think what we're going to do this past off season is put another shelf up top here to be able to put some stuff here and get it out of the way. And we also picked up some 1/4-inch padding. I got it at Sears on sale, and I think it was in an automotive section. We noticed that when you move here, your chair, you put your gun around, it makes a lot of noise. So echoes basically. So we decided to put that down there to try to offset that a little bit. And then other than that, we just put your basic closures on here just to keep the door shut. We got one on the inside as well, so you can, when you're inside here, you can close it, and that way you can lean up against the door and it won't open it up. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot more involved. Like I said, the height, nothing. I guess it's up to you. You can make them. You don't have to. We have it high so we can stand up if we want to and lean over, or so you don't have to kind of crawl into it, basically. Again, you can make it as high as you like, as tall as you like, or again, we didn't make any kind of set dimensions. We just, as we build them, we kind of just got in them and decided, what we wanted from them. So again, if you have any questions, we'll try to answer anything we can, try to give you more details. By no means is this the best blind building instructions, but or you know, I'm sure there's a lot better ways to build blinds out there, but this is kind of what we come up with, and like I said, we'd be more than happy to try to explain a little bit more what we did and how we did it if anybody's interested, if this isn't enough. But hopefully that it'll give somebody some tips and ideas, and it also definitely gave us some tips and ideas for future blinds.